So in this section, we'll be doing the factoring method, the difference of two squares. So for this method, it's going to be the reverse rule for multiplying the sum and difference of the same two terms. So if you remember from before, if we were multiplying a plus b times a minus b, so they're the same two terms, these are called conjugates. A plus b is the conjugate of a minus b and vice versa. If we took this and we FOILed it out, we would get a squared plus ab minus ab minus b squared. When we multiply conjugates, those middle terms are going to cancel, and we get a squared minus b squared. So now, instead of going in that direction, we're going to be going in the reverse direction. We're going to be starting with a squared minus b squared, and we're going to be factoring it as a plus b times a minus b. So remember that factoring is writing something as the product of factors. So a plus b times a minus b. So to do this, we have to identify what a is and identify what b is. So I put a little note down here. This only works for the difference, meaning subtraction, of two squares, of two things being squared. It does not work for a squared plus b squared. So let's do some examples here. So let's factor. The first one is x squared minus 4. So recognizing that this is the difference of two squares, you can rewrite this as x squared minus 4 is also the same thing as 2 squared, right? So that might help you recognize that we can use this method. So this is going to be, scrolling back up here, the a here is going to be x, and the b here is going to be 2. So factoring this is going to be x plus 2 times x minus 2 using that rule. So you could check this if you want. You could check it as x plus 2 times x minus 2. You can FOIL this back out, so you can distribute this to make sure that you end up getting what you started with. So FOILing this out, we get x squared minus 2x plus 2x minus 4. Those middle two terms cancel. When we combine those like terms, we're left with x squared minus 4, which is what we started with, so we know that we got this correct. Okay, I'm going to jump down here to this last one for y to the 4th minus 81. So this one's a little more complicated here. We can rewrite y to the 4th as y squared squared. We can rewrite 81 as 9 squared. So we did that so it was in the form a squared minus b squared, something squared minus something else squared. So now we can use this rule. It's going to be y squared plus 9 when we factor it, times y squared minus 9. So you may be tempted to stop doing it right there, but we can actually factor this one more time. That first factor, y squared plus 9, is prime. We cannot factor that anymore because of the addition. So I'm just going to rewrite it. We can factor y squared minus 9 using the same technique. So y squared minus 9 can be rewritten as y plus 3 times y minus 3 when we factor it using the difference of two squares factoring method.